Heyo everybody, it's the Wazzz, and welcome to Majestic Chess! This is an old game that I had when I was a kid and I still have now. My brother's using it to practice chess. However, he has gone farther than me in it, and so I must rectify that by starting my own series and hopefully relearning how to play chess along the way. So, this is an old training tool made back in 2004, and it has an adventure mode. Let's go ahead and jump in. You know, for a game in 2004, it's pretty good. Look at it. Look at this! Oh man, this takes me back. Wow. Oh wow, this does take me back. Back to when blocks of text like that were acceptable in video games. Of the many practitioners of the great game, no wizard was greater than the Argent Prince. But power often corrupts, and the prince became Sargon, dread necromancer, hater of life. Hater of life, wow. Sargon gathered many pieces as he twisted the game to his vile purpose, and he and his allies soon conquered the world. A prophecy foretells of a hero is that how you spell prophecy? I don't know. Foretells of a hero who will free the land, but in these dark times few are willing to fight Sargon. Those who do either become seduced by his power, or a victim of his hellish pets. Alright, click to begin. Here it is. Wow. Alright. Oh, first of all, let's change our name. The Wazzz. There we go. Alright, Chapter 1, Curse of the Faceless Knight. Let's go. These hills are the domain of a dreadful creature upon whose face none may look. He is called the Faceless Knight. Long ago, this strange being lost his visage? I don't know. In a mystic duel. Now he hates all who can still smile. His castle is hidden deep within the hills. Look through the many places of power that teach arcane lore, and beware the agents of the night, especially the mischievous jester. This is a lot cheesier than I remember. Oh well, I guess all games are kind of like that. Ah man, yep, this is exactly how I remember it. Okay, so start as you find buildings like this, and if it's highlighted, it says it says click the send king to this location. Oh yeah, you're starting off as a king, and these are all the pieces you have in your chess team. And you're gonna fight with these pieces of the things. And as you complete different areas, then the clouds will go away, and you can go to more places. This right here is how much gold you have. You can use gold to buy items, which I might do if I have to. This is, I think it's items? I don't know. I don't remember. This is quests. If you ever get lost, or you need to remember what you need to do, just click on quests and it should be there. Alright, anyway, let's go to Keep of the Tricephalic Gargantuan. That means three-headed. Yep, nostalgic sounds indeed. A three-headed giant stands before you. He assures you that he is harmless, having become a vegetarian many years ago. The giant asks if you want to play a game of chess. His days are long and his purse is full. The first head suggests that you find the rook of many passages. The head has long wanted to test its skill against this rook. The rook is in the north. Or castle, if you prefer that terminology. Alright, what's this place? Abode of the Line Walker. I think I'm supposed to... Wait, what's this? Geomancer of the Chicken... I don't remember where I'm supposed to go. The humble monk who lives here is a master of walking the ley lines. Eldritch lines of power that crisscross this world. He is willing to share his knowledge with you if you will but stop and study. Learn about how the straight moving pieces behave in the game of chess. Okay, sure. I already know how, but okay. Chess pieces that move along straight lines are called straight movers. This piece is called a rook. Rooks can move any number of squares along ranks and files. Here, the rook has moved to b5. In chess notation, this is written as r b5, r for rook. A rook may not move beyond a square occupied by a piece of the same color. However, if the rook is being blocked by an opposing piece, the rook can capture it. A piece captures an opposing piece by moving onto the square occupied by the opposing piece. The opposing piece is then removed from the board. Like that. In chess notation, this is written as rxc5. The X, means capture. The rooks start the game in the corners of the chessboard. This piece is called a bishop. I click continue. This bishop can move along any number of squares along diagonals. Here, the bishop is moved to f2. In chess notation, this is written as bf2. Like a rook, a bishop cannot move beyond a piece of the same color. So because the rook's here, the bishop can't go here. Also like a rook, a bishop can capture any opposing piece that gets in its way. In chess notation, this is written as bxg7. The bishops start the game on these squares. It'll get easier to remember. This piece is called the queen. The queen is the most powerful piece in chess because she can move through the most number of squares. The queen moves like a rook and a bishop, along ranks, files, and along diagonals. Here, the queen is moved to d7. This is written as qd7. The queen captures opposing pieces the same way as the bishop and rook capture. This is written as qxb3. Because the queen is so powerful, each player only gets one. She starts the game as shown. Notice that the white queen starts on a light square, and the black queen starts on a dark square. An easy way to remember this is that the queen starts on her own color. That's a little riddle I was taught when I was a kid. This is the king. He is the most important piece of all. If you capture the opposing king, you win the game. The king moves just like the queen, but only one square at a time. Because he moves so slowly, it is important to protect him at all times. Just like the other pieces, the king can capture enemy pieces and be blocked by his own. In chess notation, the king is represented by a K. King starts the game right next to his queen. How romantic, I guess. This is how the chessboard looks with the rooks, bishops, queens, and kings in their starting positions. Let's not restart that. The monk advises you to use the knowledge wisely that you have gained. He hopes that you will walk the straight and narrow path. Ha 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 ha. Let's go here first before we go there, because I think... What's over here? Guarding the traditional black and white robe of his order, an old man emerges from this mystic dwelling and hails you. By your aura, he can tell you're a wizard. What? I thought it was a king. I don't know. He offers to show you the legendary Atlas of the Boards, a text that is the foundation of magical study. Learn about the basics of the chessboard. Okay. Chess is a game played between two... I probably should have gone to this area first, shouldn't I? Chess is a game played between two players on a board of 64 squares, arranged in 8 rows and 8 columns. The squares alternate between colors, light and dark. Each player has an army of 16 pieces at his command. Players alternate turns, moving one piece each turn. The objective of the game is to capture the king of the opposing player. Checkmate. The board is positioned with a light-colored square in the lower right-hand corner. A horizontal row of squares is called a rank. Ranks are numbered from 1 to 8. The bottom row, shown here, is called the first rank. The top row is called the 8th rank. And all the ones in between are called the... A vertical column of squares is called a file. Files are ordered from A to H. The leftmost column is called the A file, and the rightmost column is called the H file. Each square is named by placing the letter of its file next to the number of its rank. For example, the highlighted square is called B3. Another important set of squares is called a diagonal. The A1H8 diagonal is shown here. Unlike ranks and files, diagonals can be different lengths. This is the A2B1 diagonal, and they don't come any shorter, unless you want to be a stickler and call the A1 diagonal a diagonal. The Geometric Congratulations Quick Assimilation. Ooh, what's this place? What's this? Castle of Broken Passages, or Ghost of Goat? Sure. What's over here? Cute little animations. Alright, the villagers ask you to rid them of a ghost that is pestering them. It has been troubling their dreams at night and souring the milk of their goats. As you approach, the ghost appears. It challenges you with a series of riddles. Take a quiz on the basis of the chessboard. If you answer all 6 questions correctly, you'll be rewarded with 2 pawns. Woo! Okay, sure, let's do it. Click the only square on both the A1H8 and the A3C1 diagonals. Oh, this one. Correct. Hooray. Are the D7 and D8 squares on the same diagonal rank or file? D7, D8. Yes, the same file. This is easy stuff. What rank is the highlighted square? This is the 3rd. Highlighted squares are called a file. Closer A with 1 square, B should be light. Chessboard is always positioned with the lightest square. At the bottom of the rest of it, whatever. Click the only square that's on both the E file and the E6. Duh. Victory! You answered all the questions correctly. This is pretty much the meat of the game. Quizzes and little games that you play. You exercise the ghost. The villagers sing your praises and reward you with 2 pawns. As you can see, I now have 2 pawns here. Ta-da! I'm gonna try to get 8. What's this? It's called Castle of Broken Passages. Hurry up. Long ago, this castle was a stronghold of the chief enemy of the Faceless Knight. Now it lies in ruins, and its former master roams its broken halls, singing songs of past glory and talking to the shades of dead loved ones. He poses a series of strange questions to all who venture near. Take a quiz on the basis of the 6 moving pieces. I win a rook if I answer all of them correctly. How many moves does it take for the rook to move to the e7 in this position? e7 is here. 2 because it can capture opposing pieces. Yep. How many moves will it take to get the bishop to d8? Where's d8? d8 is here. 1, 2. Or that way. I guess that works. How many moves will it take the bishop to get to e8? It can't get to e8. Bishops can only move along one color. That's a good way to remember it. If you went to move the king to b1, the shortest number of moves, should you play kg1 or kg2? b1 is here. It doesn't matter. Takes 6 moves either way. Yeah. How many moves does it take the rook to get to e7? 2. Yeah. It's pretty easy from this point. At least for me, I don't know. If how many moves does it get to d8 to d1? Where's d8? Okay, 1. 7. Victory! You answered all the questions correctly. Hooray! The Mad Lord briefly smiles. He presents you with the famous Rook of Many Passages. In the next instant his sad visions return. He sits down before a table of decaying food and prepares to dine. Wow. Alright, we have the rook. Let's go back here. The first head rejoices upon seeing you return with the rook. It proposes a friendly duel. If you win, you will be rewarded with some of the giant's gold. Use your rook to play against a king and a pawn. You win if you can capture the enemy's pawn. If you are successful, you will win 50 gold. Okay. Aha. Oh yeah, that's me. So now it's in 3D. Let's go simply. Get you away from it. Let's get you away from your pawn. I think I'm overthinking this, but I don't know. Oh, all I have to do is capture it. Okay, alright, that's easy. See, in normal chess that would have been a draw because then he would have taken my rook, but this works. The giant gladly gives over some gold. The second head now speaks up. It has longed to play against the famous Knight of the Sphinx that is hidden to the south. Okay, to the south it is. Ooh, the Shrine of the Leaping Druid. That looks like a bishop. Yeah, I get it. A withered elder comes out to scrutinize you. You realize that he is a druid. Recognizing you to be an adept of some power, he asks if you wish to meditate with him on a series of ancient koans, I'm guessing.
Koan.
These mystical riddles are supposed to impart great wisdom. Learn about how the knights and pawns move in the game of chess. Okay. There are 2 chess pieces that move differently from all the other pieces, the knight and the pawn. This piece is called a knight. The knight moves in the shape of an L, 2 spaces forward and 1 to the side. Like that. See, makes sense. The knight can move through any of the highlighted squares. Note that every square the knight can move to is the opposite color of the square it is on. I never noticed that. Huh. The knight is the only piece whose movement is not blocked by other pieces. It jumps right to its destination, leaping over friend or foe. This does not mean that it takes any of these pieces when it does. Like that. This move is written as nf6. Notice the knight is represented by an N because K is used for the king. A knight cannot jump to a square occupied by a piece of the same color. It can, however, capture an opposing piece by jumping onto its square. Precisely. Like that. This is written as nx6. The knights begin the game on these squares, right between the rooks and the bishops. This is a pawn. Pawns are the weakest of all the chess pieces, but there are a lot of them. On its first move, and only its first move, each pawn has the option of advancing 1 or 2 squares. Thereafter, it is restricted to crawling forward 1 square at a time, and pawns can never move backwards. Like that. In chess notation, this is written as d4. No letter is used to represent a pawn move. I don't know why. Unlike all the other chess pieces, the pawn captures differently than it moves. It captures 1 square diagonally forward, like this. This move is written as dxc5. The first letter represents the file that the pawn moved from, since there's usually one pawn per file until the game gets complicated later on. Due to its limited mobility, pawns are easily blocked. Here, neither pawn can do anything, because the only squares they can move to are occupied, and there are no pieces around for them to capture. Each side starts with 8 pawns positioned like this. When you add the rest of the pieces, the board looks like this. Remember to check that the light square is in the lower right hand corner of the board at h1, and check that the white queen is on the light square and the black queen is on a dark square. Just basic chess setup rules. The druid says that now you know the sound of one hand clapping. He wishes you well. Here we are. Look at that, it's a horse. Sphinx of the mysterious, winds. Many an adventurous journey ended before this Sphinx. The local elders assure you that a magician created it to guard a great treasure. Attempt its riddle to gain the treasure. Take a quiz on the tricky pieces, I win a night if I get it right. How many pawns did I... 2, not 1, because I can also do this. I can do either of these. E3 or E4. How many legal moves can the pawn on E2? This is an example. It does not move backwards in regular games. It can make either one. Can't, because it's being blocked. I can move 8. Yep, any of the opposing pawns. Ooh, I can do 2. I can either capture this or move forward. Yep. Correct. Yay. How many moves does it take the knight to get to A1? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Or that. That works too. Victory! I answered all the questions correctly. Within the Sphinx, you discovered the Knight of the Sphinx. Alright, let's go back to this giant guy. On seeing you display the Knight of the Sphinx, the second head breaks into song, much to the displeasure of its left and right neighbors. Funny. It proposes a challenge similar to the first. Use your knight to play against king of the pawn, capture the opponent's pawn. If you're successful, you will win 50 gold. Oh, and I want 50 gold from the other one. Alright, capture the pawn. Gotcha. Sure. Really? That was easy. Your victory causes an argument between the heads. The third head now insists that it is a superior cranium, much to the disgust of the other 2 heads. After much shouting, the 3 heads all agree that you should challenge their final head. They ask you to seek out the jousting bishop. Bishops weren't involved in jousting tournaments. Whatever. Muse of the captured heart. That was cool. The muse's beauty is said to be so great that she was forced to retire here to avoid an endless line of suitors. Really. Even the faceless knight tried to win her hand, but only those who are pure of heart have any hope of gaining her favor. You, of course, fall into this admirable category. Thank you. Take a tutorial on check, checkmate, and stalemate. Got it. If a piece can capture an opposing king, the king is in check. In this position, the right rook on e2 checks the black king, because in one move it can capture it. When your king is in check, you must respond by getting the king out of check. One way to get out of check is to move the king to a safe square. Notice that the king cannot move to e7 because he would still be in check by the rook. This one. A king can never move into check either. Yeah. It just can't. It doesn't mean that if you do you'll lose the game. It's just can't do that. Another way to get out of check is to move a piece between the king and the attacking piece, effectively blocking the check. This is called interposing? I've never heard it called that. In a while, at least, maybe. By moving the rook to from a7 to e7, you shield the black king from check. The last way to get the king out of check is to capture the attacking piece with the Pac-Man bishop. The black bishop captures the white rook, so the black king is no longer in check. When a king is in check and he has no way to escape, it is called checkmate and game over. Here, the black king is in checkmate because any square the black king can move to is under attack by a white piece. The king can never be touching a space that the white king is on. You can't have a king like here. It's because it would be captured by the other king. It's common knowledge. Here, white checkmates black by moving his queen to d7. There is no safe square for black to move to, and there are no pieces available to capture the queen or to interpose. Notice that the black king cannot capture the queen himself because the white king defends her, and if he were to capture the queen, then the white king would take the king. Checkmate! What if it's black's turn to move? Black cannot make a legal move. He cannot move here, queen. He cannot move here, queen. He cannot move here, queen, queen, king. But the black king is not in check. He has no more piece. He can't move a piece under legal rules. This situation is called stalemate, and the game is a draw. The muse's wisdom will help you defeat the faceless one. Okay, that's cool. This one. What's this? Monastery of the Joust. Cool. Mystical. The guardians of this place are masters of mystical combat. They boast no less than 8 techniques for, that's it, achieving victory upon the board of combat. It might be wiser to avoid them, but it is rumored that they possess a powerful bishop, which they will give to whoever passes their tests. Take a quiz on the basics of whatever and I win bishop. Take a look at this position. Okay. Is this move legal? No, because the black king is in check. You can't move a piece if your king is in check. You have to protect your king. What is the term of interposing? Intermission. Is it checkmate? No, you must be in check to be in checkmate. Whose turn is it to play? How that? Wait, what? Whose turn is it to play? I'm sorry, what? What about you before you notice the video on? Ouch. What? Hold up, huh? On the board, make the only legal move against white king out of check. A white king out of check, okay. Here, yeah, correct. Take this possession. Yes, no, he's a check. This is called interposing. Only move that puts black in check. Okay. Oh no! I forgot about the rook. Ugh. Okay, this question. Whose turn is it to play? Whites, blacks, you can't tell from the... Wait, does it mean because he's in... Oh, because he's in check. Because it can't be white's turn because black can't move himself into check. Oh, that makes sense. I'm the one make the only move that puts black in check. Okay. Is it here? Yes. Because I'm not in check in any other. The black Higgins in check. Is it checkmate? Wait. This? Is this? Okay, yeah. No. The black rook can block the check move with the C8. Hooray. That was embarrassing. You beat the priest of their own game. Sound of gesture. Let's get this over with. Back here. The third head marvels that you have gained the jousting bishop. He asks if you are ready to compete against him. Use your bishop play against the king of the pawn. You win with capture your opponent's pawn. Okay. Let's see. I know what to do. There we go. Now I just gotta wait. Gotcha. The third has two companions, both brief sighs of relief. You win the last of the gold, but this giant bears no ill will towards you. He asks you to join him in a bowl of mulch stew. Yeah, I think I'll pass. Alright, what's this place? Gateway of Baidak. That was fire. The famous adept Baidak has been appointed the guardian of this gate by the Faceless Knight. It is said that he is less than pleased with the duty, which he finds both wearisome and expensive. As you approach, this weird wizard summons 4 imps to oppose you. Pit your army against the king of 4 pawns. You will win if you are able to capture your opponent's... Oh, this is an actual battle. You're going to use all the pieces you have here to either to do what it says. If you're victorious, you will win 2 pawns and 50 gold. Cool. Alright, so these are all the pieces that I have. So I'm supposed to capture all the pawns. Let's start with that. Let's move this guy here because I do know what let's see. Smart. Let's see. I think I'll do this. Ouch. Let's move this over here then. And this will go over here. What can I do in this situation? Let's see. Sure, let's do that. Should I sacrifice my knight? Sure. Yeah. Now what do I do? I don't want to completely get rid of my... I know what to do. Take it, thank you. And now we have an issue, Mr. Anderson. Let's do this. Check. Now you can't move there anymore. Oh no, I missed the opportunity. Oh well. That's right. Keep on moving. Keep on doing the exact same move all over again. I win! Wow, that... Vidoc stands to somewhere to extend your power. He promises he will trouble you no longer and grants you free passage through the border. As further incentive to leave him in peace, he offers you gold and 2 of his imps. He assures you that the imps require very little in the way of care. Cool, I now have 4 pawns and 200 gold. Let's go here. This is the shop, the Strongbuck shop. You'll see these in every chapter, and they sell a bunch of stuff. Despite robust profits, Mandible the merchant is hardly jovial. The Faceless Knight's jester stole his most beloved possession, the key to his strongbox. Ooh, the merchant is broken-hearted. He offers a valuable item to anyone who rides north after the jester and returns the key. The merchant attempts to console himself by asking if you would wish to buy any of his regular items. Okay. What is this? What does it do? Potion of Temporal Replay. Oh, I think this makes you go back 1 move. No thanks. What's this? Scroll of Wisdom. This artifact suggests the best move. Oh, it says that anyway. This artifact takes back your last move, yes. That's the best move to make. A pawn? Thank you! Ooh, Mandible's Magic Hammer. This artifact uses your next turn to eliminate one of your opponent's pieces. This is a single-use artifact. I probably should have saved up for that. Oh well. There we go. Ooh, more stuff, which we will have to see in the next episode because this episode is already getting too long. So, let me know what you thought of this episode. If I should, if I should make this into an actual series, if I should finish it, and if it's worth my time. Because thankfully I've been getting a lot more people viewing my channel because of my demo on the point video.
You better calm down, demo.
But I want to know if this is the kind of stuff that you'd like to see. Just older games of more strategic, maybe less spontaneous and action-packed, more intellectual and retro and just stuff out of my childhood that I want to share with everyone. Alright, so thank you all for watching. This is the Wazzz signing off.